Hi, hi friends, I'm Olivia Smith. Thanks for visiting my YouTube channel where I share the latest global news every day. You can also read more news on TimeGlitter.com. You can find all the links in the video description below. Friends, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, share with others, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now let's jump into today's news. News headline: Seismic shifts will happen. U.S. Pro Rugby League MLR loses teams but looks to future. News details. At the end of 2023, within just a little over a week, Major League Rugby faced a setback with the departure of two teams. First, the Toronto Arrows, representing Canada, and then the New York Ironworkers, who had clinched the championship in 2022, ran into financial difficulties. This was a tough blow for Alex Magleby, a former U.S. Eagles player who is now a co-founder and the CEO of the New England Free Jacks, the reigning champions of MLR. Losing Toronto and New York was described by Magleby as traumatic. Magleby expressed his concern, stating, "Seismic shifts will happen again in the league. They're going to happen if we learn anything from history in other sports leagues. It's a highly risky long-term asset play, right? Indeed, some may argue that World Rugby's decision to host the 2031 Men's World Cup in the U.S. is also a risky move. Transitioning rugby union into an already crowded U.S. sports market is no easy task, from Dublin to Dallas. In MLR, players receive modest salaries, facilities can be basic, and away games often require extensive travel. It's like the frontier of rugby. Despite completing 6 seasons, with 3 being affected by COVID in 2020, teams like the Seattle Seawolves, champions in 2018 and 2019, still contend. However, the champions of 2021, Los Angeles Guiltinis, and 2022, New York, have disbanded, along with teams in Glendale, Colorado, and Austin, Texas. Additionally, a third team from the East, originally from Atlanta, relocated to LA after losing its owner. It's a long-term commitment, Magleby emphasizes when discussing the dedication needed, particularly in his partnership with Ulrich Anderson, a biotech investor, to sustain an MLR team. Building a loyal fan base is costly. It takes time to cultivate communities that are genuinely enthusiastic about being part of the experience, supporting the brand, and enjoying the game. We lack the established foundation of widespread participation, so we're attempting to progress rapidly. This inevitably requires significant financial investment. Circumstances change, priorities shift, and people's financial situations fluctuate. Unfortunately, this can lead to team closures, and while we hope it doesn't occur again, it's always a possibility. I'm relieved that the league stepped in, allowing many players from Toronto and New York to continue their careers with other teams. It must have been incredibly tough for everyone involved. The uncertainty was daunting for all. The league made considerable efforts to sustain both entities, but ultimately they were overwhelmed. This weekend marks the beginning of an exciting journey for 12 teams as they kick off a 16-game regular season, leading up to the playoffs and ultimately the championship game in July. Among these teams are some legendary names. The renowned Australian player Matt Giteau, still going strong at 41 with the San Diego Legion, and Ma Nanu, an esteemed all-black center, also at the same age and club. Last year's champions, Magleby's Free Jacks, will commence their title defense this Sunday in Charlotte, North Carolina, facing a new challenger, Anthem RC. This collaboration between MLR, USA Rugby, and World Rugby promises an intriguing addition to the league. Investing in talent development in less prominent rugby nations is not a novel concept. While specifics may vary, initiatives like the Fijian Drua and Moana Pacifica in Super Rugby, as well as the Rugby Europe Super Cup involving nations like Georgia and Portugal, have provided platforms for nurturing professional players domestically. The value of such endeavors was evident when a significant portion of the Portuguese team, who ousted the Eagles in the last World Cup and performed admirably in France, had honed their skills through participation in the Super Cup. The announcement of the Anthem project came relatively late after MLR had initially declared an 11-team, single-ladder season. With the league now expanded to 12 teams across Eastern and Western conferences, the Miami Sharks emerge as another fresh contender in the East. Anthem predominantly features American talent drafted from other teams. Magleby emphasizes, beyond the timing of its entry, what's crucial is that the Anthem concept, uniting USA Rugby, World Rugby, and a professional entrepreneurial league, has come to fruition. Its success is paramount. Whether the team produces future Eagles remains to be seen. What we do know is that we'll have players on the field who may not have had significant playing time in Major League Rugby before. And now they'll have that chance. If we remain patient with these athletes and provide them with opportunities, there's every reason to believe that year after year, we'll see the development of American-eligible players, which will ultimately strengthen MLR and potentially enhance our national team. I believe all the elements are in place for this to happen. This Sunday, Anthem's young American players will face off against a mix of domestic talent and imports from New England. Leading this squad is fly half Jason Petraz, last year's MLR Player of the Year, hailing from Taranaki, New Zealand. Among the U.S. talent in Anthem's ranks are promising young players from the Free Jacks. The upcoming 2031 World Cup casts a shadow over everything in the rugby world. Magleby expresses confidence, stating, hosting a World Cup in the United States will undoubtedly be a great success. It's estimated that just over 3 million fans are needed to make it financially viable. And I believe more than 50% of those spectators will come from overseas. The 1994 Soccer World Cup serves as a compelling example. Americans have a proven track record of hosting major sporting events, and World Rugby is adept at managing such endeavors. I have every confidence that the World Cup will be a resounding success, irrespective of the developments in the U.S. over the next 7 years. Currently, the focus is on investing significant resources to cultivate a strong fan base in America. We're witnessing impressive year-over-year growth, with numbers doubling from the previous year, which is truly encouraging. While some teams boast larger stadiums, such as San Diego's Snapdragon Stadium, with a capacity of 35,000, and Dallas Jackals Choctaw Ballpark, seating 48,000, the Free Jacks home ground, Veterans Memorial in Quincy, Massachusetts, can only accommodate 5,000 spectators. Nevertheless, they are committed to working diligently on fan engagement initiatives, including fan festivals, themed events, youth games, and other strategies to establish a sustainable and thriving fan base. Friends, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, share with others, and subscribe.